All right, thank y'all for being here. I wanted to open today just kind of paying respect to Gary Patterson. Really one of the legends in the coaching community. He's been been a great mentor to me, especially early in my head coaching career. And I think he's just been great for the profession and done a lot of work with American Football Coaches Association. He served in a lot of different capacities to really help the game of football and help the coaching profession. And so just wanted to lead with that. Talking about our game with Iowa State, I wanted to say this, and I think I said this after the game, but I wanted to make sure I reiterated it. I thought, it wasn't a sellout by any means on Saturday, and there was a lot of excuses why not to come to the game. Our record wasn't great, weather was bad, whatever. But we had 45,000 that showed up, and what a tremendous atmosphere at the end of that game. It was extremely loud. Go back and watch some of the TV copy, you can hear it. I don't know how long that Let's Go Mountaineer cheer went, but it went for a really long time. And it was really difficult even to hear on our headsets during that last sequence of plays while we were on defense. And so credit to the people that came. Appreciate everyone that showed up. If you didn't, you missed out on what I thought was a great college football game. We were fortunate to come out ahead, but it was a physical game by two teams that competed really, really hard. And we were fortunate enough to win. I thought our guys made enough plays throughout the game. Really proud of their resiliency. Just quick recap of all three phases. Special teams is we had to continue to be creative with our kickoff. We've been struggling there kicking the ball, but we got dinged for one that got up around 35, 40-yard line, but then we used some specialty kicks and were able to control it. And our coverage unit, credit to that, because sometimes those specialty kicks are hard to cover. I thought Tyler Sumter continues to punt the ball well. We've covered it well. The punt return by Esdale was big. We've steadily gotten better on that unit. And then Casey Legg making the field goal. He's been really consistent, maybe as consistent as anybody on our team. Defensively, too many big plays. I think that's the negative aspect of it. One blown assignment on a long pass play, and then a misalignment on the run play. But other than that, and really we didn't have probably a great call in the second explosive run. But other than that, if you take those out, which you can't, you can't take them out. But if you take those out, I thought we did a really good job defensively managing Breece Hall. We knew going in the game we weren't going to stop him. He's too good a player, but I thought we managed him. And I think what it came down to, when they gave us the opportunity, when he put the ball out in the goal line, we were able to create that takeaway, and the ball was on the ground. And so that was huge. And then our third downs, and third and medium and third and long, we were able to get them off the field. And that was one of the really big initiatives going into it. Offensively, we were productive on first down, which gave us a lot of opportunities. Third and short and third and medium, which we were able to convert, maintain drives, and then our ability to score touchdowns in the red zone. And something that's probably maybe not talked about as much, and something probably sticks out more to me because Oklahoma State's as good as anybody in our league at it, is we played really good complementary football. And so going back to that first quarter, Breece Hall hits the big run, offensively match it, right? They score again, offense matches it again. And so really good complementary football, the best that we've done so far this year without a doubt. We always give awards out when we win. Looks like I forgot my sheet, so I'm going to get somebody to go get those for me real quick, and I'll hit those at the end because I want to make sure we talk about them. That's about how my day's going too. So I'll come back to those awards here in a second. Turn the page to Oklahoma State. Number 11 team in the country. They've earned that. Their only loss being on the road at Iowa State, which is one of the tougher places to play in college football. And they missed 2 field goals there during that game and lose by a field goal. I think the job that Mike Gundy's done at Oklahoma State, you go back to 2008 and beyond. I saw a stat where how many times they'd been ranked in the top 10 during that time. and just a tremendous job. And he stood the test of time, and credit to him and his staff. Several of those guys have been with him for a long time. So credit to his staff for the longevity that they've been able to hold that up. Kind of just who they are quickly is special teams wise. They've always had good specialists. If you look back through Gundy's tenure there, they've always had really good specialists. This year is no different. They've got an Australian punter that's difficult to play against because he sprays the ball all over the field, mixes up field boundary. And so we've got our hands full there. Kickoff return, they've already returned one for a touchdown this year. That's obviously we've had some issues in that area as well. And then consistent, outside of one game, they've been consistent making their field goals. Offensively, they want to run the football, and I think it starts with Warren. The offensive line, I think, is really improved from a year ago, and Jaylen Warren runs as physical as anybody in our league, and we've got this the Big 12 right now is blessed with a number of super talented running backs. Thanks, Coleman. And here's another one. If you look at, we had Evans and we had Breece Hall, and now here comes Jaylen Warren, and they're all a little bit different. The thing that I really respect about Jaylen Warren is he runs the ball angry. I mean, he is a violent runner. He gets downhill. He breaks tackles. It's impressive, and so he's a really tough tackle. Spencer Sanders, who's been the starting quarterback there for 3 years, this is the first time we're going to have the opportunity to go against him. He's been injured. He's a dual threat guy. He's strong. He can run. He's got a really strong arm. He can make all the throws. They utilize him a lot in the red zone. And then they've got two receivers in Tay Martin and Brennan Presley that can really run, and they're extremely fast. So, and they like I said, going back to them as a whole, they play great complementary football. They run the ball on defense or on offense. They're able to hit shot plays, and then defense, they've been lights out. They're at they're one of the top teams in the entire country defensively. If you look, I think they got 9 seniors. If you go back, I think it's 9 seniors and 2 juniors that start, and those guys have played a ton of football over there. And the defense coordinator's been there for 4 years now. Jim Knowles does a really good job. Those guys understand the system. They make it difficult. It starts with they've got really 3 big interior guys that make it difficult for you to run the ball inside. They're physical. They come off the ball. They use their hands. They're extremely well coached. I think Malcolm Rodriguez is playing the linebacker position as good as anybody in our league. He reminds me, he and Bernard are very similar at Baylor. A really good player. And then you look at Harvell Peel, who's been playing for a long time. He's a physical run player, does a great job back in the middle of the field as well. And they're physical at corner. And they were physical against us last year. And so just a really good football team. They look like you expect one of the top 10 or 12 teams in the country to look like when you turn on the film. So that's Oklahoma State. Going back to our award winners, just to give them recognition. So our special teams player of the week from last week, against Iowa State was Sam James. And I would encourage you to watch. I think sometimes these plays get kind of overlooked, but for you guys to go back and watch TV copies and those things, or if you have access to the coach copy, is watch Sam James on punt return. Unbelievable strain, fighting to do his job. And then watch him on punt coverage. He's always the first one down. We've done a really good job with punt coverage and low net punts and or low net return yards, and he's a big reason why. Defense player of the week, and he had 9 tackles, 3 assists, and a sack. And Josh Chandler, the last 2 weeks, has really played at a high level, and he's playing his best football of his career right now. And excited for him. He's doing a really good job leading and communicating. Offense player of the week, it was Jarrett Dagey, 30 of 46, 370 yards, 3 touchdowns. Played the best game of his career at this point. Our offensive lineman of the week, and thought he played extremely physical, played hard. He had 8 knockdowns, and he was the highest or the most productive offensive lineman, and that was Wyatt Milam. As a true freshman starting against Iowa State, that was an impressive performance. we give a blue collar award. Y'all have heard me talk about this. This is people that do kind of the dirty work that maybe don't show up in the stat sheet, but had a huge effect in the game. And offensively, it was T.J. Banks. You know, he had some runs after catches. That was his most productive game, the best he's played in his career here. And then Akeem Messidor's getting double teamed every single play almost. He strains. He had a couple really important tackles for a loss. And then our scout team players were Victor Wickstrom on offense. Did a really good job giving a look for those tight ends that Iowa State has. Braden Dudley did a good job getting the offense prepared for McDonald, who led the league in sacks coming into it. And then special teams was Preston Fox, and he does a great job. And he's going to be a player for us down the road. And then our Juice Award, who did the best job on the sideline, is Will Schoonover. And fittingly, since we have Military Appreciation Week this week. And so a lot of reasons to be excited about this one. Second home game. We've won 2 games in a row. We're going to honor our military and pregame festivities. You know, our administration has some really neat things planned for that. And then also Major Harris. You know, his jersey retirement ceremony is on Saturday. Judging by some of you are probably in the same age bracket, some of you aren't, but same age bracket as for me. And if you're not a native, that was my introduction to West Virginia football. Is being a young fan watching Major Harris, because at the time he was so unique, and so I really enjoyed getting to spend some time with him. And what a great honor, great honor for one of West Virginia's all-time greatest players. And so that's going to be fun, and it's and he's well earned. What a player. And so we've got some cut ups that we're going to show our players, and they'll be excited. And so the hope is that we'll have a big crowd. We need them. This is a team that's had our number a little bit, and so we're looking forward to getting out there and competing. So with that, I'll take questions.